Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 7 of Mike's Nation. Please subscribe to my channel, and you can follow me on Twitter as well. Today, I want to talk about career and or job advice. Now, normally I would talk about one of my interests, such as sports, TV shows, movies, video games, and so forth, but I want to do something different because recently I found a job. Basically, I'm going to be an assistant manager in training starting next week at a liquor store, and I'm looking forward to it. So I figure on this occasion it will be appropriate for me to just give my two cents basically regarding a job and or career advice. So basically, there are a couple of areas I want to hit upon in this episode. One is just pursuing a career and or job that you're interested in. Second point I want to hit on is self-education. And the third point I want to hit on is succeeding or having success in your job or career. So let me start with the first point regarding pursuing a job or career that you're interested in. Now, in my own case, I have several interests, basically, and because of that, it's not the easiest thing to do is try to find a career and or job that I'm interested in because I don't have one area that I'm solely or firmly focused in as regarding trying to pick a career and or apply for a job that I'm interested in because of my interests that tend to vary regarding myself. So basically, one thing I try to do is, because I enjoy helping people, I try to look for jobs and or career options that basically there's a lot of like customer service, because I enjoy helping people, like I said before, building relationships. I enjoy learning, and I have a lot of experience in customer service. So any field that has a lot of interactions regarding customer service is definitely something I want to pursue. So being at a store that I'll have an opportunity now to pursue my interest in customer service, but I could definitely build relationships, and it'll be a great avenue for me to continue to learn, especially too considering I don't know a great deal about liquor, but I'm willing to put the time and effort into learning as much as possible about liquor. And tell you the truth, I want to learn at least a little bit about every type of liquor. For that, I could become at least a little bit knowledgeable. I could, provide that advice to, a coworker that may have a question on, let's just say, a bottle of scotch, for example, or a customer that's asking me about a specific wine type, for example. So basically, because of my interest, I think I have a great chance of, succeeded at this new job because I want to do well, and I'm motivated to give 100%, and always just show up to work not only on time, but at least a few minutes early. So if you aren't sure what you want to do as a job or career, there's nothing wrong with that if you feel that way, early on in your life, because a lot of people go through that, to tell you the truth, and there are several ways you can do to take this step in terms of trying to find a job or career that's suited for you, because you may have, a variety of interests, or you're just not sure what you want to do. Like, one thing you can do is maybe talk to a family member that you're really close to, someone that knows you, someone that cares about you. Another step you can do is maybe, explore more into your interests, such as maybe take a class, whether if you're in high school or at a college, or maybe sometimes even like the local library where have like classes on variety of matters. Like, for example, my own public library, they've offered classes regarding like computer classes, such as learning Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Excel, and so forth. Another thing you could do is maybe talk to someone that's been a mentor towards you. Like, and it doesn't matter what that person does for a living. You know, as long as you have a good relationship with them and you trust them and they generally, care about you and respect you for who you are, try talking to that person about something you're interested in or something you want to pursue and as a career. Another step you can do is basically even like read articles, take tests online. There's so many tools because of the internet that you can use at your disposal to help you out, such as taking maybe a free career test or taking a personality test where you can learn more about yourself, and in turn you can pursue a interest as a potential career or job. Even taking like a leadership test as well, trying to find out more about yourself. So, just because you aren't sure what you want to do at first, don't give up. Keep trucking. Like I said before, nothing wrong with, not sure what you want to do, especially if you're, still, young, and just, go from there. Like I said before, never give up, never give in, be positive. So the next step I want to get into is basically self-education. Now, regarding self-education, I believe it's a lifelong process. And what I mean by that is learning in general is, a continuous process throughout your own life. It shouldn't never stop once you're finished with school. You should always be trying to learn. And what I mean by that is not necessarily taking a class, but you can read more about your interest. You can talk to somebody in a career or job, that you're interested in. You can even listen to TED videos on YouTube, for example, or listen to someone within a field on YouTube, or read articles about something you're interested in. There's a lot of things you can do to self-educate yourself, and because of technology, makes it easier today to pursue self-education. I mean, a lot of people are taking classes outside of the brick and mortar type of school system we used to have many years ago. What I mean by that is, learning in school was exclusively in the classroom. Now, there's a lot of learning outside the classroom, a lot of learning, as I said before, that you can just pursue in general. And just, keep going. Don't give in, don't give up. Always try to improve. Self-improvement is wonderful. Let me give you a perfect example from my own experience. Now, I used to struggle a lot with giving public speeches. And a lot of schools, for the curriculum, at least in high school, you would have to pursue a speech class, at least in the school district that I attended. Now I know every school district, they have a curriculum that they try to set, each school year, but I'm sure this happens to a lot of students in a variety of school districts regarding, having to take a speech class. So I was very uncomfortable speaking in front of people, even if it was just my own peers in front of them in a speech class. And I was so terrified of giving a speech that I could not literally speak in front of people. So because of this difficulty of mine, I didn't give up. I tried to climb over the wall that I faced regarding giving a public speech. I learned more about speaking, such as I read a couple articles that would talk about, for example, how to overcome your fears of public speaking. Another article that I went over talked about the audience type. And as a speaker, no matter what, you're going to face an audience. And what I mean by that is you could face an audience that could be more like favorable to you. Like such as, for example, a politician giving a speech in front of you know, his own or her own donors. And basically their positive audience, so they're going to look pretty favorable towards you as a speaker. A negative audience would be more like you're speaking towards maybe an audience, if you're a politician, that tends to vote for the opposing party, for example. So maybe you got to try to maybe reach across the aisle during that speech, try to find the middle ground or the common ground or common policy that you can agree with the audience or the other party with. Another article I looked over was just taking steps to combat your nerves, or maybe how nervous you are giving a speech. So I try to, like I said before about self-education, learn and improve my fear, my difficulty of public speaking. I don't know if I'd call it a fear, because let me just say I was uncomfortable with speaking in front of an audience. I think that would be fair to call it an uncomfortable situation, not necessarily a fearful situation for myself. So I overcame this fear because I was willing to take the steps to climb over that public speaking wall, and as a result of that, I became an adequate speaker. Am I ever going to be a great public speaker? No, but I can live with that because I improved from going someone that struggled to give public speaking to someone that's like, hey, this public speaking thing, it's not too bad. I can live with it. I can deal with it. I can become at least a respectable speaker. So another thing I did too was you got to cater to your own needs. And what I mean by that is some people, they can wing a speech. They don't even need to do any prep work. They can just give a strong speech like that. They can answer questions in a firm manner with providing details regarding the question. Whereas other people, like myself, will have to go over the speech several times, like practice in front of a mirror, or practice in front of someone I really trust that can give me honest feedback or dialogue. Or even researching more about the topic or person that I'm going to be speaking about, or even just anticipating questions. Whether if it's questions that I could either look up online that a potential audience member can ask me, or just even questions that I come up on my own that someone could be asking me. So basically, it's just always trying to learn and overcome your fears regarding for my own struggles with public speaking. Now, my last point I want to hit on basically is doing well or succeeding in your job and or career. Now, everyone talks about anyone can talk about success that has enjoyed it to some degree, no matter, what they do for a living. But there's a few simple things that I found out that work for myself. For example, I believe in trying to improve and just trying to get better, as I just touched upon before, my struggles with public speaking, how I used to not want to speak in front of people. I've overcame that through hard work and determination, and just trying to never give up. That's another success. Is failure is not necessarily a bad thing. I think we, as a society, tend to look at failure as a bad thing, but that's not necessarily true. You can learn from failure. I mean, Thomas Edison failed many, many, many times before he came up with the ideal light bulb. For example, another example is Henry Ford failed many, many times before he made a strong automobile. I mean, everyone gets knocked down. It's not what if you get knocked down or not. That's life. It's what if you can get up from that, and keep going, maintain a positive attitude. Keep trucking. It's a great quote by the Arizona Cardinals football coach, Bruce Arians. He said, "Tough times don't last forever. Tough people do." And I firmly believe that. That's one key to success is learn from your failures. There's nothing wrong with failing. It happens to everybody at one point or another. It's failing is not the issue. It's how do you react to the failure? Are you just, tuck your tail between your legs and say, "Oh, I can't do this"? Well, you're probably right with that attitude. You probably can't. Half of life, in my view, is, you can or you can't. If you say you can't, well, you're probably right. If you say you can, well, you're also probably right. See my point, ladies and gentlemen? It's, the power of positivity works. In my own case, I can relate because I used to be a lot more negative than I am today. And to tell you the truth, it just hurts your mood. It just, it's a difficult mental state to deal with because you're always trying to find the bad things in every single thing, and it just drags your mood down, and it hurts and other people that know you or see you, they can sometimes tell by your body language whether if you looking down like this if you're walking or you're just like shaking your head, as well. Just keep going. Never stop believing in yourself. We all have our talents. We all have our gifts. Don't let someone say you can't do something, because in my view, people that say that tend to, say that because they failed at something, or they don't consider themselves a success, and they're just projecting their negativity onto you, basically. Another key is, as I mentioned before, if you want to succeed in your job or career, is, as I talked about earlier in this episode, is finding a mentor, finding somebody that you looked up to or do look up to, that had a positive impact in some way, shape, form, or manner in your own life. Like basically my own experiences, I've had good bosses and bad bosses. I've had bosses that I really don't care for, that I don't respect. On the other hand, I've had great bosses, people that I've taken something from, people that I've learned from, people that not only do I respect them as a boss, but I like and respect them as a person too. So just trying to, find people that you can connect with. And it seems to me like all successful people, no matter what you do for a living, they have a mentor. They have someone that they looked up to. They have someone that they wanted to, at least to a certain degree, be like or be similar to. My last job, I had a boss that was probably not only the hardest working manager of all the managers in the store I worked at, but also he was a people person. He was great with people. And he was well regarded by everyone at the store I worked at because not only because he had a great work ethic, he would he would stay beyond the hours he was scheduled for, but the way he treated people, he would not only talk about work-related things, listen to, other managers he worked with, but also employees under his leadership as well. He would take their opinions and what they said to account as well. But he would also get to know the individual. Like my own experience is with this manager. Like he'd find out, what you're interested in. For example, this manager and I were both football fans. And one of the teams he likes is the Chicago Bears. So him and I would shoot the breeze about the Chicago Bears, for example. So that's another key, I think, to being successful is, besides working hard, is just trying to connect with people, such as, finding out mutual interest, and that can be anything. It, doesn't matter what it is. As long as you're basically, having success at your job, but also, you have a respectful relationship with everyone you work with. It doesn't matter whether they're a manager or employee. Another key, in my view, is listening. There's a lot of people, including myself, that want to, talk, nonstop. No one wants to stop and smell the rose, so to speak, Like, my own case, it's not so much I talk a lot, but I'm more like active on Twitter, for example. And I'll constantly, retweet, political posts that, one of my followers or someone that just retweeted or posted that I see on my timeline that I will retweet. But, being someone that would rather listen than talk in general, this isn't difficult for me because I think you can learn a lot from people. Not only through what people say, but, I believe actions speak louder than words. Anyone can say anything, but that doesn't necessarily mean, it's the truth, someone's own actions match their words, and I think you could pretty much at least know that person's honest. Another key to success is, I want to say, basically, this might sound boring, or too generic, but another thing I believe is be yourself. And what I mean by that is, be who you are. Don't let people change you into the image or person they want. Everyone's different, like I said before, Some people are more outgoing, some people are more quiet. Don't let people change your personality. Who you are is unique. There's only one of you in this world. Don't let someone take that away from you, or don't let someone change that into something different. Because in the end, we're all unique for who we are as individuals. And I think you can learn a lot by not trying to be yourself, but by working with other individuals, especially if they're different from you regarding a personality type as well. And basically, the last point I want to hit on regarding success is character. And what I mean by this is, just conduct yourself with integrity. To sum up the word character, treat people the way you want to be treated. Listen to them. Conduct yourself in a highly respectful manner, no matter where you are. Just be an example towards others. Be the example that they want to be, or wish to learn from, or even maybe they consider you as a mentor, for example. Like, for example, on my last job, I didn't realize this, but when I told my manager, my direct manager, because that's where I worked at, I had several managers, but when I told him, he basically told me that not only was he miss working with me, and he was shocked that I was leaving, but he said that basically the younger employees, were hurt that I was leaving, and yeah, I didn't realize that. So kind of, made me, appreciate that, I had a positive impact on them from a career development standpoint. And being in a, lower management position that I was in, I, kind of like believed in just leading by example. That's just part of my personality. I'm not the most outgoing person, and being an introvert, it's not the easiest thing to interact with, many people on a daily basis. You get your energy drained, and as an introvert, as other introverts can, attest, I need to recharge my batteries every day, meaning, I need my alone time to, feel, recharged, to feel, okay, going into the next day, to help me deal with my stress, just to help my general health and well-being altogether. So basically, to sum everything up that I've been talking about this episode is, be positive, never give up, never give in. Just, keep trucking, always trying to learn, always trying to, improve, if you want to succeed. You aren't going to have success if you're just satisfied with the status quo. People that are satisfied with the status quo, well, they'll only get so far in life and or in their own career or job. But, trying to, take steps, to get better is how you're going to succeed, whether if you're in the workplace or in your own personal life. So thank you for listening to this episode of Mike's Nation. That concludes today's episode, and have a great day, everybody. Bye.